Hello everyone, welcome back to Python tutorials by Code Warriors. So today we are at the end of the Python this tutorial, and this is going to be the last video in this tutorial. I will not call it last because officially it is going to be the last, but if I find something interesting to tell you, something this if I find something important to tell you about some kind of a function, some kind of a method, some kind of an operation inside of Python, I will definitely put the video inside of this tutorial. But basically, this is going to be the last thing that I'm right now going to talk about. And today we are going to talk about errors and exception handling. Like we get an error in the program and our program stops over there. So how to handle those kinds of errors? Today we are going to talk about not how to remove those errors because that's your task. Removing those errors, you have to look at all those videos, tutorials. And you have to learn the concept, understand the concept. That way only you can debug a program to remove the error. But I'm going to tell you how to, bypass those errors. Like errors will be there, but your program will not stop. So this is a good concept inside of Python, how to handle the errors. So let's go to Spider. Let's see how we'll do it. Okay, how we can handle all those errors and stuff. Let's see it in Spider. Okay, so basically, when you make a program, you get lots of errors, right? I mean, everyone gets the errors. No one is like super person. Like he makes a program, he makes a big program projects, and he doesn't get an error. That's like a very special thing. Everyone gets errors. It's a general thing. Even professionals gets an error. But the thing is, when we get an error, our program stops. It doesn't execute the further lines. Okay, we get some kind of error and the program stops. So today we're going to talk about how to bypass those errors. Now there are three stuffs. There are three keywords basically. Those are try. Let me zoom it. Then there is another one. You see, it is a. You can definitely get the idea. It's a function. You see, it is having a colon and a method kind of working. Okay, then there is another except, and the third one is finally. Okay, so try is a place is a method in which we write our program, in which we are thinking of having getting an error. Okay, basically we write our whole program in that try section, and it may have error, may not have error, it doesn't matter. We write our program inside of this section. Then except section is runs when an error occurs. So whatever we write inside of an exception section, it prints out, it happens when we get an error over there in our try section. Okay, so the point is our program doesn't stop. It goes to this accept point, and it gives us it executes whatever the code we have written inside of accept. And then the final thing comes, which always runs. It means is like sometimes when we get an error, we don't want to stop our program over there. Just we want to move further. Okay, we want to check further stuff. So that stuff we put in inside of our finally section. Except section contains runs only when we get an error. Try section is where we put our main program, where and chances of error is there. And finally the section which we run after bypassing the error. Like we don't want to stop if there is an error, just run the program. Okay, let's create a general example. Simple uh, like sum equals to 10 plus, and let's create a string. Okay, so what we did here, we create an this addition of integer plus a string over here and putting inside of a sum. So basically what happens if you run this line, sum equals to 10 plus 20, and 20 is a string, it gives us this error, type error, unsupported operand type for int and string, right? But if we are running this program here and give it something in the error like print um, you are using let's say you are using different data types in addition. Okay, and then finally you can say you can run something else like um, we can give it sum equals to 10 plus 20 and print sum. Okay, so let's run it. Let's see what happens. You see here, we were having an error, but it did not give me an error. Even it executed my program further, and it gives me the output of this print sum over here. It doesn't stop just over there only. This is a this is the basic concept of error handling and exceptions. Okay, like these are whatever these errors we are getting, these are or errors or you can say exceptions. But to handle them, to manipulate, basically we are like cheating against them. Okay, like that's a place where an error should get, the program should stop, but we are somehow bypassing them and still executing the further program. Okay, but if we try to use these variables somewhere, like we have created, we redefined this variable. But if we try to create this, use this variable somewhere, it will again give an error. Okay, again we have to put the exception and try, and again we have to create accept for it. But that's the more you wanna do it, the more. So that's a different thing. Now you see we've got here this type error. Now we can. There are lots of kinds of error if you see. Now if suppose I create a file right now. Okay, so for file, let's say file is equal to open. Okay, those who don't know about the file, you can check out my file handling video. I have explained how to open, read, and write the file. I'm not gonna explain. I'm just gonna do it here. Okay, let's create a file. Let's say new file, and we are gonna open it in write mode. Okay, okay, let's open it in a read mode. Let's see what error we get. Are we gonna get any error or not? Let's see. We get an error, file not found error. But what if we put it inside of a try? Yeah, why? And give it a space and use accept. Okay. Now earlier we got this error. Okay, let's say accept and first print. There is no file. There is no such file. Okay. We can also run finally. I've shown you how to run finally. We can say finally, and either we can create a file over here, okay, or we can do something else, whatever we want to do ahead of it. Okay, we can create a file also, like file is equals to open new file, comma w. Okay, we can also create a file, doesn't matter. Okay, I'm not gonna run this finally right now. I'm gonna just run it this much. F9, and you see this time it does not give me an error, it gives me there is no such file. But what if I say here, you know, type error. Okay, I give this is you can see it's yeah, kind of an argument over here. And if I run this section, let's see what happens. Now it gives me an error, file not found error. And number two, no such file or directory. New file. Why? I'm using an accept section over here, but it's still giving me this error. Okay, but what if I put this and file not found error? Okay, I've copy pasted that and name of the error and place it over here. Now if I run it, let's see what happens. Again, it worked. Okay, so like when you're doing something and you're thinking like so many kind of errors can occur, and for every kind of an error you want to give a certain kind of a different kind of output. So that's the way to handle it. Like in file, one more kind of an error can occur. Like suppose you have created a file. Okay, suppose let's run it. Okay, try is not running, so finally will not work. Okay, wait a minute. Let's create a file. Okay, our file is created. You can see here a new file name is created over here in the file section. Okay, now file is created. Now uh, I have used this. Now if I say file dot write, okay, and I say uh, just simply hello world. Okay, now you see when I will run this program, my file is already created over there. Now it will be open in the read mode because I have given it here R mode. But what I'm doing is I'm writing inside of the file. But if you remember in file handling, when a file is opened in the read mode, you can write inside of that file because that is meant to be read, that is meant to be printed out. Okay, when you open the file in append mode or write mode, then only you can write inside of the file. But right now it is in the read mode. Let's see what happens. Okay, we were running file not found error, but actually this time it's an unsupported operation not writable. Okay, so we create this error except unsupported. Okay, let's copy paste it. It's a bit word. Okay, unsupported operation, and I don't think it's gonna work with this. Maybe it's gonna work with OS error, but let's see. If it works, it will be fine. If not, then we'll try OS error. Okay, print not writable. Let's say not writable. Simple. Okay, now let's run it. Let's see what happens. Okay, this time it gives me name error on accept block. Okay, you see the one that is going to handle the exceptions are giving the errors. Okay, now let's use this OS server because that's the main name of the server. Now let's see what happens. You see, now this gets only not writable over here, and here we have this kind of error comes under OS error. You can also check for this whole error handling and exceptions. You kind of built in errors these in python.org documents, Python documents basically, and there it will tell you gives you all kinds of errors that can occur. Those are built-in errors, names, and when they occur, what kind of error they gave. They are all present over there. So that's from where. And when you will write error, you will see they will be shaded with some kind of color. And when we are writing unsupported operations, it wasn't shaded. So that's why I got a little bit of an idea that it's gonna work with OS error, not unsupported operations. So you can match it from there. And if you notice one thing over here, when I was running this file, it did not went to accept file not found error. It went with accept OS error. It was checking what kind of error was happening and it was giving me output accordingly. So this is the good thing about it. You see here, it also when we were running unsupported operation, that time it gives me this error during handling of the above exception. Another exception occurred. Like when it was handling that exception, one more error occurred. Okay, so that's kind of a like cheesy stuff. Okay, now maybe sometimes like we wanna create and make it an if else kind of stuff. Like if there is no error, then do this. Like you can just say uh, else. Like if an error is not there, uh, then you can just print it. Print whatever is written over there. Like we are in write mode right now. Okay, so we can print whatever is inside the new file. Then we can write what was that file dot read. Okay, so if there is no error, then do this, and let's this time comment section this so that our else can run because it will give an error. Now let's see F9. Oh, we make it a string. Sorry, we made it a string, and that's why it ran file dot read. Okay, this time a string, And actually there was nothing written inside the file, so it is empty. But if we write something inside the file, let's open this file in the W mode and remove this, and then file dot close. Okay, file dot open in read mode. Sorry, file equals to open. New file, comma, okay, good. It is open the read mode and we have written something inside of it. Now let's run it. And it prints me out hello world over here. So you see, when there is no error, it is gonna work with the else statement. It's gonna print me out whatever there is. But if there is an error, it's gonna give us the error and execute the finally statement. Then it will not go to the else part. It will go to the finally statement over here. So this is all about file handling and exceptions. Now to get to more idea about it, more kind of built-in errors. Either you can just experiment on it by creating some errors, like we earlier we got this name error over here. You can do some kind of a nesting inside of it, like when in the except only you write something wrong, then also it some kind of a tries and except statement works inside of it, and it helps you with that. Okay, it doesn't let you come out with an error or stops the program. So this is the basically concept of error handling and exception. We have discussed a lot of things, like first we talked about try, except, and finally what are they, and then we did some practicals on it. So just what I want you to do is practice on it, work on it, okay? And there is lots of stuff in Python, lots of stuff in any programming language. There's lots to learn. Like it's like an ocean, and trust me, you can't learn everything. And I will not even suggest you to learn everything. I won't. If I won't suggest you to learn even a single thing inside of a programming language. Okay, there's nothing to learn. If you are like working every day on it, making programs, doing some computation, then it's a good thing if you will be having it in a practice, it will be in your touch. But if you're not doing it, if you're doing it some like in 1 or 2 weeks, you're just making 1 or 2 programs, or just keeping it slow, then I'm telling you, don't learn it. Just keep an idea on what is, like how for loops works, how loops works, what are functions, what is object oriented programming, how we can manipulate strings, lists, and all. Just keep an idea about it. Okay, we don't have to learn anything out of programming language, because learning a programming language is like learning an ocean. You can't learn an ocean, it's a ocean obviously. Okay, but what you can do is, like, there is an ocean out there. Whenever you need a water, you just go and fetch from it. Okay, you just don't just collect all that ocean's water in your place. You just don't do that. And whenever how much water you need, you just go to the ocean and collect that much water. Okay, that's why that's the same thing you have to apply over here. Whenever you don't get anything, like how the list needs to be manipulated, how to do indexing, how to do slicing, you just Google it. Okay, you get some kind of an error. You don't have to learn every error. Just you got an error, just go to the Stack Overflow and check over there. I'm pretty sure you're not gonna get some kind of a special error that no one has ever get. Yeah, till now. Okay, lots of people would have get the same error. They would have passed from your stage only, and they would have got the same error. And when they got the solution, they would have put it in the Stack Overflow. And I will also suggest you, if you get any error and you find some good solution of it, you make an account on Stack Overflow and put it over there. Your reply, your suggestion for that error, so that others people that are coming after you can get help from it. So don't learn anything. Just whatever you don't get, whatever, like just learn the syntax, the algorithm, like what you want to do in the program. Just leave everything on the Google. Okay, like you wanna do indexing, just check how to do indexing in the Python. Did the indexing. That's it. You just need to know what programming is really. Okay, you don't need to learn anything. You don't need to like ram them up inside of your brain. That's hard work, not smart work. Okay, so we are gonna end our Python tutorial over here. But if I get anything special in the course anything much more to explain, or you put something in the comment section that needs to be explained further, I will definitely make a video and put it in this tutorial in this channel. So, okay, so see you next time with some other tutorials. Good luck, everyone.